Hey Dave, great to see you. How you doing?
Hello, hello. Um, how are you?
Hanging in. To borrow the words of a wise man, I'm alive, so I'm happy.
Yes,
Happy to be alive.
the
Happy to
standard,
be here.
the baseline.
The baseline, indeed. Um, cool. Okay, so we're here to talk about music and trying to look ahead into the future of what the on-chain music space in 2024 is going to bring us. Curious to get your thoughts on what you're excited about right now in the on-chain music space, what you aren't excited about, and some of the trends that you think might spill over into the following year, and what we might see.
Um, so right now, a lot of people are expecting a bull market, um, and are feeling really excited about that. I think with that, we haven't seen a lot of creator excitement, and so I'm not quite sure if this specific moment in time is for creatives to be excited about the bull market. There's a lot of great trading conversation happening. There's a lot of conversation about different cryptocurrencies, a lot of conversation about PFP projects and already existing IP, but there's not a lot of conversation around new things. There's not a lot of conversation around individual creators. And so I feel like the beginning of the bull market is not going to have any focus on creatives across all mediums, but especially music. Um, on the
Hmm.
other side of that, music spent a lot of time in the bear market trying to find ways to get more people to collect. So we moved away from a prioritization of how much money we could make, um, to a prioritization of how many mints we could drive and how many like people we could connect with. I don't know if that was the right move in hindsight. When the market picks back up and when people are interested in music, I'm growing increasingly concerned that as we as artists try to drive our prices back up to what we think they quote unquote should be, we'll have a hard time convincing people to buy in. In a lot of ways,
Hmm.
this down period may put us in a similar situation as to what streaming had done for us, where we were prioritizing reaching people and we're receiving less payout. And now we're at a point of no return. And so hopefully we aren't at a point of no return. Um, and I guess I'll say that's what I'm not excited about. But what I am excited about is it seems like a lot of people who are building in Web3, NFTs, etc., on the music side especially, are focused on looking for ways to create more context around music and more context around artists. I think that you'll start to see more and more ways of storytelling pop up, whether that's curated by platforms or in a way that us as artists can upload information somewhere that people can then access somewhere else. Um, I think that some of the trends that you'll see most immediately will be focused on collaboration. I think you'll see things focused on um, subscriptions, micropayments. I think those are going to be some of the things you'll see a lot of music artists moving toward. Um, you'll see social tokens. I have a social token. I think, in the last 6 or so months, as we move toward like social fi, I think there are a lot of people who think that that was the right idea and they're just trying to find a way to make it work. And while I think SocialFi also didn't benefit creators, I think that people are trying to find ways for it to benefit creators. Um, we definitely have been in a period where creators have been losing, and I think people are trying to create situations where creators can win. Um, but I don't know if we've found it yet. And so, collaboration, I think, is going to be huge. Creating opportunities for storytelling, social tokens, um, subscriptions. Those are, I think, the coming things. I'm feeling on the fence um, about all of it. I don't know I don't know if we have a proper like infrastructure of media, a proper infrastructure of systems of um, like critique, of review, of things like that that can kind of point us in the direction of good things. Because as all of this technology becomes easier to use, we're going to have a lot more people. And if the first 10 artists you hear aren't good, you're going to think that everyone making music NFTs are not good. I think this is what happened in the past years with the way the music industry views people who make music NFTs. Just think the music isn't good, and so um, it's only going to get harder to find that needle in the haystack. The haystack's getting bigger, but um, at a rate that less needles are joining per amount of haystack added. So the haystack gets larger, the needles don't get larger, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But I feel like everything I've said has been like more leaning negative, but I think I'm overall like 60% excited, 40% skeptical.
Cool. That's a good ratio. Better than the flip side, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that totally makes sense. Curation as ever is going to be super important, and creating infrastructure for that curation to actually work and be effective. And yeah, I mean the race to the bottom thing with pricing is definitely something to pay attention to. I guess like the one silver lining is that like at least at least these platforms are decentralized, and you can empower niche in different ways so that you can still find people and cultivate communities rather than using something like a Spotify where you both aren't getting paid and aren't able to reach people, or customize your story or customize the experience that's being built around your story. So, um, but I think you nailed it. I think those are you know that's the prediction right there. It
yeah.
was just going for a 5 minute snippet, and I think you summed up the whole year in 5 minutes.
I I think
um,
too like
so I'm gonna stop the.
um okay, got it. I know there's like a delay between us. I think too like on
Yeah, I love that.
a lot of it is going to be like up to us as creators to create the culture that we want. Um, I think a lot of us moved out of desperation as the bear market raged on. And hopefully, a lot of people are going to be able to spin the block and say, no, I should be building higher quality experiences. I should be charging more. I should be like creating more fan experiences. I should be doing this and that. And so, um, that part I think is unpredictable because I'm terrible at predicting people who aren't myself. I'm terrible at predicting myself. So, yeah, I think that's the last thing too is like if artists culturally, like broadly, can recognize that they should demand more value than they did during the bear market, there's an opportunity for change. But I think if enough people win off of the race to the bottom model, then we'll be stuck there, and it'll just be what it is. Okay, now I'm done.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's going to take a critical mass of, a creative resistance in order to push back on that, and actually, claiming the value that the work deserves. Um, okay, cool. I'm going to stop the recording because it's going to take a sec to upload Currently, you're